I greet you with the mercy and blessing of Allah. Interesting topic about the general term. Actually, what we are here to discuss is not really polygamy because polygamy is
More than
one permits polygamy, but Islam permits polygyny, which is a man having more.
imply is one of the concept that is being misunderstood by a lot of people.
Now,
What do you think?
there are numerous reasons why a man is allowed to marry more than one wife, as Islam is always there. Islam is always, it always comes as a solution to the problems of humanity. Before I stop you as a woman from having what is destined for you to have before you die. For example, if you have $1 million in your account, and it is the qadar is that you spend only $1,000, or let me just use a Nigerian pound, and it's destined that you're meant to spend only
1,000.
maybe only created this law. He is the most wise, and um I mean, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the most wise. And if He asks us to do something or brings a law, it is for our own good. It's not that it's not like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is being biased or unjust, but instead, polygamy comes as of humanity. If you look at the situation of the world today, the women, if you permit me to talk a little bit on the situation of the women of the world today, Africa and at large,
Right.
polygamy come as a solution for it, not a problem. For example, if you look at the population of the women, they are above the men.
There are more.
There are more.
This is scientific. The evidence is that there are more women than men currently. Across the world.
Right.
Not even in Africa alone, it's all over the world.
Right.
The number of women in the world is more than that of men.
Exactly. So if we say one man, one in Islam, so for example, okay, and even at this limited men that we have, men tends to die more than women.
I agree with you.
Because men go out to look for sustenance, and on their way they pass through a lot of stress, accidents,
physical.
right. So we tend to lose more men than women. And still, even these men that we have, I'm sorry to say, the limited men that we have, most of them are not still responsible men for marriage. So the limited ones that we have that are responsible for marriage, they are still not up to, So Islam in this case, Islam comes as a solution here. One man, 4 wives. That way, women will be reduced.
What is the maximum number of wives that a Muslim is allowed to?
4. You are not allowed to go more than 4 wives. If you have 4 and you want to add another one, then you're allowed to divorce, and you are not allowed to marry more than 4 wives as a Muslim. Allah said, "Fankihu ma taba lakum min an-nisa mathna wa thulatha wa ruba'. Fa in khiftum alla ta'dilu fa wahidatan aw ma malakat aymanukum."
Would you allow your husband to take a second?
Definitely, why not? Why not? If my husband tells me I want to get married to another wife, say, mashallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, "Ta'awwanu 'ala al-birri wa good." I'll tell him, okay, mashallah, good. Okay, I'm here to support you. You want us to go on istikhara?
Spiritual finding, divine finding, that I want to go and get married. God, show me, would this be right for me?
If it's good for me and all of that. So, yeah, well, Habibi, if you want us to do istikhara together, I'm here for you. You want us to make findings about this sister that wants to come to the family, so welcome. Why? Because a Muslim woman, a Muslim is a person that submits to the will of Allah, not the will of herself. You submit to the will of Allah, and at the end of the day, we are going back to this Allah. We don't have any right to go against the laws of Allah. But if we submit to His will, we will be happy. Well, I know a sheikh in America who told me he's got 3 wives. He has 3 wives. And he told me that each of his wives, because one of the wives is in Africa, 2 are in America. He told me that every time he visits each of his wives, whenever you are with me, I used to feel that I'm the only wife that you have. So this also boils down to the men. I mean, if a God-fearing man, of course, how he treats them equally.
The wives.
Exactly.
there is this common trend among Muslim women. I want to limit this discussion to Muslim women because you are talking from Islamic perspective.
Right.
You see a lady beautiful and the man is willing to marry her genuinely,
Right.
but you hear them saying, I don't want to be second wife. If you have a wife, I won't marry you. What would be your advice for such Muslim sisters that would want to be, first wife?
Well,
I mean, second wife. They either prefer that you marry them first and marry another wife later, or they can't be a second wife.
Well,
what would be your advice to
Islamically, she has her advice. The advice is that Gaskiya, some married men are more mature, more caring than the single one. If you find someone that you can trust, that you've done your istikhara, you feel this man is good man for you, it doesn't matter if he's married or not. It does not, nothing changes him from, if he wants to be a good person, whether he's married or not, he'll still be a good man. But if he's a good man and you are okay with, you've done your istikhara, I think I don't think you should have any fear. You have as much right as the wife in the house as well. So I don't see any fear in marrying a married man. You should go ahead and do it. I mean, it's better than doing haram with him and all of that.
Then I notice another thing among our Muslim brothers, especially, I don't want to limit it to a group of people, but in the area where I come from, I'm talking from personal experience. Somebody can hardly feed himself. He managed to marry one wife, later he will marry another one, and keep wives without really being able to care for them. I have a friend that have 3 wives and about 8 children, and he practically goes about begging. And when I told him, I don't want to mention name here, Malam, don't you think you are overloading yourself and all of that? He said that the Prophet of Islam sallallahu said we should give birth to children so that he will have more people to be proud of on the day of judgment. And I was like thinking, I don't doubt the word of Allah and the hadith of the Prophet, but I strongly doubt if the Prophet is going to be proud of cows, armed robbers, thugs, and all of that. What is your view about consideration of one's economic status and taking more wives than one?
Yes, my view and Islamic view, of course, is that you would be questioned about how you take care of the children and the wife, but you will not be questioned. I mean, polygamy, Islam does not force you to have more than one wife. You will not be like, how will I put this English?
You will not be questioned if you don't marry
more than one wife, but you will be questioned for not taking care of
the children
and the wives, of course.
That's the point, because I've observed many, polygamy is good if you have the capacity.
If you have the capacity, if you have the means to take care of them.
But again, people see it as a religious obligation that you must have more than one wife.
Allah said, if you know you cannot do justice amongst these 2, 3, 4, stick to one.
That's the second place
that was
the second place I was going to mention. No. I think I have a lot of friends that have more than one wife, and I learned a lot because I'm from a polygamous home, and I understand how it works out there. Okay. I see some Muslims that have one special wife and one ordinary wife. You understand how I mean? One special wife and one ordinary wife. So that these ordinary wives eat the general food in the house and participate in all activities in the house. But this special wife have her own special dinner, her special dish of food, her special treatment and all of that. So that she lives more like a king among the other co-wives. And I think that's where the verse you quoted has come into be. That if you fear that you cannot do justice, because the requirement is that you should do justice among your wives, treat them equally. If you are going to buy atampa for them, what to buy for Ameria A is what you buy for Ameria B and Ameria C. If you are returning home with a suya, you buy for Ameria A and Ameria C, as the case may be. But in some cases, you see somebody, they will do miya kuka and garo garo in the house, then Ameria will do stew and special meat in the house.
Well, these are the kind of people that the Prophet ﷺ said they are going to come on the day of judgment. On the day of Qiyam, on the day of judgment, you are going to see some set of men or some set of people coming with one of their shoulders, has kind of disabled or falling down. These are the kind of men that you're going to see on that day because they did not practice justice between their wives. Okay, now I want to protest on the ayah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say you cannot do justice to your wives even if you try. That ayah is talking about love and feelings.
Emotional, not physical.
Because Aisha radiallahu anha narrated a hadith where she said the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Sorry, we gave room that people can call in, and I think this is one of such calls.
Okay. No.
Hello. Wa alaikum salam. Hello, we can hear you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. We can hear you. Go ahead. Wa alaikum salam. Can you hear me? We can hear you loud and clear. Oh, he's on transit, I think. So the Prophet sallallahu you were talking about.
The Prophet sallallahu where Aisha radiallahu anha narrated the hadith that the Prophet sallallahu will share the nights between the wives, and he will say, I have done my part, and the rest of them, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala should take care of it. The thing is, because what he meant there is love and feelings. You cannot love your wives the same level at the same time. But when it comes to
hello. Wa alaikum salam. Good morning. How are you? Hello. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
Okay, sorry about that.
So the signal is by slightly.
Well, yeah.
A poor network area.
When the hadith is talking about feeling, love and feelings, what you feel for this wife, different from what you feel for the other, because probably it could be the way the wife treats you, maybe the way this wife is treating you is different. So what you feel towards this person, but what the hadith is saying, that shouldn't deter you, stop you from being just between them in terms of sharing properties.
Okay, now I am getting the point clearer here, and I think viewers will be interested in this point here.
Right.
It means if you are when you are asked to do justice between your wives, it means that you should do physical justice.
Exactly, like
not
sharing
the
of
emotional, not the love, not the feeling.
Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the owner of that. He's the owner of the heart. Only Allah can turn your heart to whom He feels that you want to have more feelings towards. But when it comes to sharing of physical, for example, you want to buy a car for this person, you have to buy 4 cars.
You buy a car for the recent Ameria and the Warigida and the elders.
Yes, or like you talked about food, this person eats more balanced diet than the other person. This is not allowed. These are the kind of men that will come on the day of judgment with one of their hands paralyzed.
You know that it's even as worse as some men transferring this treatment to the children of the wife.
Exactly, this is haram.
So that the wife they prefer more, they see the children of those wives.
And the Prophet ﷺ said, "Taqullaha wa adilu fi awladikum." Fear Allah and be just between your children. All of the children have equal rights, so you don't have right to mistreat one child, to love one mother, because we have this issue. That's another big different topic where you feel this child is doing more. Islam. All the children are supposed to be
treated
equally. This is what the hadith is. Wa'adilu fi awladikum.
Then on the same issue of marrying more than one wife,
right?
I still want to talk about our men, Muslim men, that see it as civilization to disagree with verses of the Quran when it comes to matters of interest. They say, no, that is that time, this time is in a more modern time, and all of that. They have the means, all of that. They have the means. Instead of marrying more than one wife, they keep concubine. What would you have to say about
well,
because so you see somebody that I can marry more than one wife, but he can keep girlfriends. not 1, 2, 3, and he's a Muslim.
Well, like I said earlier, polygamy is not compulsory. It is by choice. But then the concubine part is where he is sinning against Allah. It's better he marries these women than keeping them as concubines or use them as baby mamas and all of that. This is what Islam came to abort. This is what the solution Islam has brought to us women. That look, we women, instead of you to be a side chicks, baby mamas, why don't you be honored as wives, mothers, instead of.
Especially with the men that have the means.
Exactly.
There are some women that take care of themselves and take care of the man.
Exactly.
But they'll prefer to be a side chick than a wife.
This is not allowed in Islam. This is what they are committing is zina. And the Prophet ﷺ said, whoever guarantees me what is between their thighs and what is between their tongue, I guarantee them Jannah. If you don't commit zina, the Prophet ﷺ said, zina is, in fact, zina is another topic. We don't want to go into it now.
We're going to talk about that another day.
Another day, yeah. But it's a major sin. You don't. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has kept women waiting for you in paradise, and Allah has permitted you to have 4 women here, you don't have any excuse to keep baby mama or side chicks in this world. Allah has kept women waiting for you, and that's another topic as well. These women in paradise are there waiting for you, and 4 women here. You have access to 4 women. If you have the means, get married to them and don't keep them, because you are going against the laws of Allah in doing that. And we want to meet Allah with qalbun salim, with a pure heart, with a pure amal, not allowing some women to kind of come between us and our ibadat and our
All right, conclusively, viewers, you have the next 2 minutes to call in and ask questions, make contributions to what we are discussing here. And I think it's of important. The caller tried to call in earlier, but it's like it's we're within a poor network environment, so we lost the signal in connecting it. So you have this time, and the number you can call is there on the screen: 091 3157 5573. You can call in to ask questions or make contribution to the topic under discussion. Let me use this opportunity to ask a question of an incident that happened here in Abuja. There is a man that had only 1 wife, and he has been so willing to take a second wife, but the wife at home will not allow that. And at the end, like I said, it's not proper to mention name. He lives in Asokoro here. And later he went, hired a house somewhere around Kubwa, married another wife there. That wife is there giving birth to children, and the wife at home is not aware that he's having another wife elsewhere. It went in.
Oh no!
Malik, it's unfortunate that the network is giving you issue.
We pray we have him on
because
the program.
He's so interested in connecting, and he has been trying. But it's like the network there. So he picked a second wife, put her in the house at Kuba, rented an apartment there, and she's there giving birth to children and all of that. Islamically, this type of marriage in Islam.
Well,
is she part of the family?
Of course, the marriage is valid. The man does not need the permission of the wife to remarry another wife.
Oh.
He doesn't need her to tell him that go ahead or don't do it. No. The reason why this is happening is because of the emotional aspect attached to it. This woman has children for you, and you want to be careful so that you know us women, our nature. And before you know, I'm going with my child, all of that. So you try to manage the situation. You are to inform her, but not take permission. Inform, not permission. For example,
so that even if you tell her that I'm going to take a second wife, and she said no, you can go ahead.
Of course, you can go ahead to get married. You can go ahead and get married. So the other wife is, mashallah, legal, valid wife of Sharia in Islam. That is what we are talking about. If sisters do not accept these laws of Allah, this man will go ahead and do it behind your back, or he either keeps haram girlfriend, or he goes and do this marriage behind your back. Is that what you prefer? No. So, but if you accept this and you welcome this with open heart, that this is the laws of Allah, and I'm a Muslim and I submit to His will, you will see the blessing that comes with. No woman has ever died from accepting polygyny. Instead, you see them happy together. Ill effect attached to this problem that we are having today of having boyfriend, having hookups and all of that, and baby mama side chicks. You are prone to diseases, HIV, STDs, and other diseases. Some of them are used as rituals now. So Islam has come to solve this problem.
So that instead of around,
exactly,
get married,
you are married to one man and then you are not at risk. So it's a protection for women. Islam is protecting the women. Islam is, and you, a woman. There's a woman I saw her online one day. She's divorced. No, she's widowed. She lost her husband.
Okay.
And she came on and she was saying, "Oh, I regretted not allowing my husband marry another wife when he wanted to, when he was alive. Now I am widowed and I'm looking for a husband to be a second wife. How do I feel now?
What I did to that woman there is going to be returned to me here because I'm going to marry another person's husband."
So Islam still remains a solution to all of these problems.
On a final note, sometimes women discussion is different from that of men.
Right.
When two women sit down to talk, they can talk for 8 hours non-stop. And only them understand how they talk and what they are saying. Yeah. So if you are going to talk to women, they will understand you more than me saying it. Advise women, married women, to be calm with their husband. They can make the home hell for you if you take a second wife. They can make it unbearable. That's what she used to give you before you get married. It will stop. Even if she's not sick, she will demand from you. All that she can do to make life miserable for you. Advise women to calm it down for their husband and make the home peaceful for them even if they take a second wife.
Dear sisters, what did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say about marriage? وَمِنْ آيَاتِهِ أَنْ خَلَقَ لَكُم مِّنْ أَنفُسِكُمْ أَزْوَاجًا لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُم مَّوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً. That tranquility that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said is the whole purpose of marriage. لِتَسْكُنُوا إِلَيْهَا, so that you find tranquility between each other. Don't take that away because he wants to get married to another wife. Like he rightly said, don't start extra demands. Don't put the home on hell. Why? Because be patient. Like someone said to me, the jihad of a woman is accepting the husband to remarry another wife. Yeah, of course. The reality is that it's difficult, but that's your own jihad. As you don't go out, how peaceful you accept the situation, you support him, like I said earlier. Supporting him is in those aspects of not over demanding at that period and not putting the house on fire or threatening him with divorce or threatening him with the children or extra demands. Fear Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because Allah is watching everything we are doing down here.
Well, thank you very much for your time and all of the talk. And, luckily we are family people. I have wife too and children, and I live in the society. I understand how it operates. My own point of the advice is to the man. In as much as Hajia has spoken about the women and asked them to do all of these ones, I equally want to add that as a man, like she said earlier, and she's rightly said, it is not compulsory for you to take a second wife. But you can take it if you have the means. It will go a long way. One, it will be part of you completing your ibadah, your iman, and all of that. But again, it is better you hold the wife that you have and take care of the children that you can have. Don't imitate people in taking more number of wives. Take 1, 2, 3, and maximum of 4. Fine, it is okay. But again, if you discover that you don't have the means, stay with the one that you have. Or better, in alternative, family planning is part of Islam. When people say family planning is not in Islam, I look at that as ignorant, because I read somewhere where the Prophet of Islam sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that all of you are shepherds, and Allah is going to ask you how you take care of your flocks, your animals. So it means all of you are family men, and God is going to question you on how. So instead of constituting where the every arm robber that you see is either Ilyasu or Muhammad, all of Muslims being the one to be seen with crime, I don't think the Prophet will be proud of that. So even if it is two children that you have, take good care of them. If it is 10 that you have, give birth to what you can take care of, and take number of wives that you can take care of. And if at the end of the day you take the women to your house as wife, you owe them the duty of care. Before they marry you, they were under the care of their parents, but now that they are with you, their clothing, their feeding, and every other thing lie with you. The only thing they owe you is to sleep with you, and all other responsibilities are your own to do for them. It breaks my heart when I travel to the village and I saw Muslim women from Mabucho market to Aimba market, from Aimba market to Ejule market. They feed the husband and even the children. That is un-Islamic. And you see this man that keep these women like this, all of them, is every man to his tent, all of them take care of themselves and their children. The man will still go on to take more number of wives. And when I told one of them, I said, Oga, how do you take care of this woman? I said, no, they are the one taking care of them. Even the Samaria so was even giving him money. I said, and you are proudly saying that.
Yeah, we have this problem in some parts of our country really, where you know the women are the ones who go to the market to cater for the men. The men are relaxed at home, and the women are the ones.
They are not slaves.
No, they are not.
Islam even look at your wife as your partner, as your soulmate.
If she spends money on cooking, you have to pay her back her money.
In this case, the woman will spend money on food and even spend on the man.
No,
You know,
this is not
so
allowed in Islam.
we appreciate your coming, and I, as an individual, I have learned a lot from this. I think I am educated on this, and I appreciate your
Thank
coming.
you very much for
And
having me.
we'll value it again if we have more time on air like this
Inshallah.
to, educate ourselves on issues of importance like this, especially because how people look at this issue of polygamy, for instance, from the social perspective, is different from how Islam looks. It's not how you want it, but how did Allah want it. It's not how you want to do it, but how did Allah say you should do it.
And Allah always wants the best for us.
You understand? And as a Muslim, you are duty bound to go by the law of what Allah says, and not how you want it, and not how your neighbor is doing it. Because we imitate and tend to forget our ways of doing things and all of that. Viewers, my guest on the program today is a social media analyst, a content creator, an Islamic preacher, Sister Haja Barakati Yakub. We appreciate your coming. Thank you very much. And for you at home that keep the time with us, we appreciate you. Thank you for being with us. We hope to see you again on another interesting edition of the program. My name is Onecho John from the station of USTV Africa. And this is Religion in Africa. And you are?
Barakat Yakub.
Thank you very much. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Wow.